गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू पैसा बोलता है। पैसा बोलता है में फिर से आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। आज मैं आईडीएफसी फर्स्ट बैंक और आईडीएफसी की मर्जर के बारे में बात करने के लिए उपस्थित हूँ। टुडे आई एम हियर to speak about the merger of IDFC and IDFC First Bank. IDFC was set up by the Indian government to fund infrastructure. But all infrastructure funding in India has not turned out well because most of the infrastructure was done in PPE mode. And because the government has not been able to fulfill its commitments, irrespective of party in power, infrastructure projects have got delayed and long-term financing has been in serious trouble. So IDFC nearly never took off. When Rajan was the governor of the Reserve Bank, a set of universal bank licenses were given and IDFC also got a license. But Deepak Lal could not take IDFC Bank to the people, and IDFC Bank was a laggard for a long time. I remember because I acquired it at that price. For a long time, IDFC and IDFC Bank were working at cross purposes. IDFC had a big loan book which was primarily infrastructure, and they could not bring it down to zero. At the same time, they also ran a mutual fund and they were the promoters of what was then IDFC Bank. Parallelly, V. Vaidyanathan, who was working in ICICI, quit and started his own finance company. After many trials and tribulations, he got up into a company called First Capital, which was basically funded by Warnbeck Pickers. First Capital grew from strength to strength and became one of the largest NBFCs in India. But Vaidyanathan's dream was to run a bank, and he used to wistfully say, when Yes Bank and Kotak Bank got the license, that anybody who goes and applies gets a bank license. But when the IDFC Bank came up for looking for a partner, Vaidyanathan merged his First Capital with IDFC Bank. And the then chairman of IDFC said, not only have we got a strong partner and a loan book, we have also got a wonderful team leader. Under Vaidyanathan, the bank has grown from strength to strength. In fact, if you look back in 2019, there was a presentation where he made 5 points. Out of the 5 points, 4 have been cleared, only 1 has not been cleared. That is, he said he wanted to bring infrastructure as a low part of loan portfolio to zero. It's at 3%. Rest all goals, which he said would be achieved by 2024, were done by 2023. And the share market has been very kind to him. From nearly 14 rupees when he took over, today it's trading at 80 rupees. Meanwhile, IDFC sold its mutual fund business and today has a loan book, but its primary asset is the 39.3% share it owns in IDFC First. And Vaidyanathan gave an interview to Business Standard in telephone. Like I did say in my sister channel, he wants to follow the ICICI in HDFC route. He himself is an ex-ICICI product. Basically, he wants to merge IDFC and IDFC Bank. The ratio is given below at 155 IDFC First shares for every 100 shares of IDFC. He has said that the banks will merge together and like HDFC and ICICI will not have any promoter and it will become a complete institutional bank and so will be able to grow in size. In both in Kotak Bank as well as in IndusInd Bank, the promoter has been a stumbling block at times because the RBI has been very suspicious of a promoter having a large stock. In case of Kotak, it has made several exceptions which have raised eyebrows, and in case of IndusInd, it has flatly refused permission for the Hindujas to increase their stake. To circumvent this and to have unfettered access to capital and growth, IDFC First and IDFC have merged. We are going to merge. Vaidyanathan's stake has come down to 1 or 2%, I'm not sure. But he gifted away and sold most of his stock and remains a professional CEO because he wants to build a company and leave a legacy. We knew this was happening and I've been constantly in my sister channel urging my followers to consider IDFC Bank at various price points and whenever it has dipped. And for those who have done so, it has given very good returns. Recently, to augment his Tier 2 capital, he has issued 1,500 crores at 8.4%. The expected capital adequacy ratio is 17.68. The average capital adequacy in a public sector bank is only 8 or 9%. This gives enormous space and scope for the bank to grow. When IDFC First merges with IDFC Bank, the loan book will further strengthen the bank further and will give more space for the bank to grow. And since this will be a promoterless bank, it will be run professionally. But though it's my hope that Vaidyanathan is around for another 10 years to get it to some size. He has himself said that he would like to follow Kotak, but I believe that this bank will be bigger than Kotak because Vaidyanathan himself will not have much stake in the bank. So this share is most likely to be inducted in the MSCI India Standard Index. If this happens, a lot of passive money, roughly in excess of 100 million, could flow into the company, which will boost the price of this share even further. It is therefore very imperative that at every dip one considers this stock. IDFC First and private banks, including IDFC, are facing the pressure of rising rates, especially in attracting deposits. Therefore, their deposit rates at CASA have gone up, and therefore, unless they increase the lending rates, their net interest margin will come under pressure. We have to see how this is done. IDFC First normally lends money to people who have not banked and looks at consumer finance, its legacy of First Capital, and therefore should be able to pass on the costs to its consumers. So I expect no contraction in the margin of the bank. Its corporate book is low, and it's over a period of time its infrastructure loan will be cleaned up. So the bank will only grow from strength to strength, and the branches will grow very rapidly. At this point of time, they do not have an investment product. They are relying on third party. But I'm sure this will become a full service bank at some point of time. So one should consider IDFC First Bank whenever the opportunity presents itself to you. Thank you for watching पैसा बोलता है. आपने इस पॉडकास्ट को सुना, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. नमस्कार, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद. If you like this video, hit the like button and write your comment. We look forward to reading it here. Kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification. If you have done all of the above, consider sharing this with your friends and relatives. Once again, I thank you for your support for Paisa Bolta Hai. Welcome back to Be Rich. I am in Tokyo on work on the 5th of August 2023. I have a lot of following in Japan, Tokyo. Those who want to meet me in Tokyo on 5th August, kindly drop me an email on the address given below or contact us on WhatsApp there. My team would get in touch with you and facilitate the meeting. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich.